Yep, look what you got first. I realize I have to... One, I have no idea how loud I am. I might have to adjust that. Hello, hello. But I also change the font size just a little bit on that text. Oh, I have to type. I assume that's a font size 10. Nope, that is way too small. Here, 20. Hey, that's a lot easier to read. Anyways, how loud am I? How audible am I? I know, that's what she said. Quiet. Got it. Give me a moment. Right, moving the arm a little bit closer. Sorry if it's making a lot of terrible noises. So, is that any better? Is that any better at all? Like, I'm trying to also, like, speak up a little bit more. But if that's not doing so well, then I can actually go in and up the gain on it. Which would make background noises a little bit stronger. But, I can't really bring it any closer to me. Better for you. But is it good? Not is it better. Is it good yet? I guess I should probably keep talking instead of just, you know, remaining quiet during while I'm just waiting for people to get back. It's like, oh yeah, no, it's awful, but it's like, you know, I'd say up the gain a smidge. Okay, we'll do. All right, I upped the gain by 5 decibels. Remember, you also have to turn off the music once you're ready to actually start. I could turn down the music. Like, this is actually how loud it normally is, but I totally forgot that the music is, like, you know, audible. I guess there's really no reason to have music, is there? Like, that's at the lowest the music can go without having to quiet sound effects. So yeah, how is this current setup? Like, kind of standing where I'm going to be standing for all of this. I'm doing all this before the visuals are up, because why not? I feel like it. Sounds good? Any other complaints? Concerns, questions, or otherwise comments? Redoing my hair here. Tune volume up now? Okay. You have it super low, so it's fine. So you're saying I should yell into the mic really loud right now. I am purposely talking a little bit quieter because I'm actually standing next to the mic while I'm brushing my hair back. Can't wait to listen through the VOD later, and it's like absolutely unacceptable for me. Alright. So I think I'm as good as I'm gonna get. It probably will, but yeah, probably. All right, let's get this show on the road, I guess. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's stream. I have to take my watch off, I just now realized. Take off friendship bracelet. Hope you forgive me, Gotha. So here's what we're doing today. A headless man! Well, no, I have head on my shirt. It's actually a mythic shirt. Okay, so here's what we're doing today. This here is a roughly 29-gallon terrarium. This is going to be converted into a terrarium for poison dart frogs. 2 specifically. I have 2 kind of picked out, but I'm kind of waiting to actually get anything for quite a little while. We can't finish this today. Like, it will be impossible to finish this today. Genuinely speaking. But assuming I get a delivery on time today, we could actually make a lot of progress. Make sense? I'm expecting a delivery today that, if it arrives on time, will make us able to do a lot more on this than I initially planned. But that being said, we're very likely going to not even get to that stage. So what we've done with this thing so far, this is intentionally looks like shit in the back. Put bugs in there? Not yet. We're still going to be doing some chemicals in this, and I don't want to expose isopods to anything that can cause them harm. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put in the water feature. So this it's going to be called a paludarium when it's done, because it has a land and water feature. Terminology is terminology. This is going to have a column back here that I actually already cut out. It's on the table next to me. Column cut out. It'll be right over here. Water streaming across here, and then it'll be coming out a bit, and then dropping into a water feature down here, like a little pond. Now, strictly speaking, dart frogs don't need this. In fact, actually, some people say it's actively bad to have a water feature in a dart frog vivarium. But it does benefit because, 1, it's a place for them to put tadpoles when they have them. If they have them, I guess. And 2, it brings up the humidity of the whole space, which I might struggle with, given the fact we have such bad and dry winters that we have to put humidifiers in some of the rooms. So having a water feature would be a good thing for their overall health in my exact situation. That's what I'm guessing. Plus, it'll look nice. Why would it be bad? So dart frogs run with the logic of dry feet, wet backs. They soak up everything through their skin. Like, they don't drink water, they just exist in a humid environment and get all of their water through the humidity in the environment. So if they are constantly exposed to water, then it can cause a condition called foot rot. So what they do is, you want their feet to be dry, so you want the substrate at the bottom to, like, you obviously it's going to be wet a good bit of the time, but you want to give it a chance to dry out before you go and, like, mist it again or spray it again with more water to bring up the humidity. But you want the humidity in the environment to be high enough that they can absorb water through their skin sufficiently. Now, why a water feature is considered bad is because, 1, in a lot of cases, it can bring up the humidity to 100% constantly. You want to kind of cycle a little bit. You don't want to be at 100% constantly. You want it to be at, you want it to go up to 100%, then you want it to drop down to, like, 80% or something. You might actually see, you can't see, I'm going to put my hand behind it, but there's actually, here, lift this up a little bit. Whoop. There's actually sprayers in here. I'm going to be hooking this up to an automatic sprayer system, so it'll be upping the humidity. But, because the previous guy did not have a water feature. Yeah, it's underwater now. But having a water feature, 1, ups the humidity, so it could cause problems with that. 2, frogs don't use it. Dart frogs don't use water. They don't sit in flowing water. They don't, like, sit in a pool to soak up water. In fact, a lot of poison dart frogs actually lay their eggs on leaves. They don't actually put them in water at all. When they're about to hatch, they move them to water, but they don't generally touch water, like, at all. So having a water feature effectively means you're reducing the size of the terrarium for them. You're reducing the space that they have available. Now, And this is where, like, I only do these things if I do a lot of research on it. He's Air's water because he's shark. Okay, I also really want a flowing water feature. Like, I was not going to get a flowing water feature if it was going to be harmful to the animals, but I want a flowing water feature, and so I researched, is it possible for me to do so? What's the risks for it, right? So, this size of a vivarium, it is a 29-gallon terrarium. I'm using all these freaking terms. Terrarium means it's only for plants, but there might be animals in it. Vivarium means it's intended for animals, but there's also live plants in it. They're largely interchangeable. It's a vivarium technically because it's intended for frogs, but I have live plants. In fact, I have a tub of it right over there. Merv was just licking the container. Why are you licking that container? But this is a... How's that noise? Oh, okay, I know what that noise is. Never mind. But yeah, this will be a 29-gallon vivarium. On average, the frogs that I'm going to be getting need about 10 gallons per frog. They're frogs that you can't have more than 2 when they're adults. When they're adults, if there's more than 2, they fight. Like, the females especially fight over claim to the males. Like, girl boss it. And you can't get frogs that are adults. It's almost impossible. It's really hard to ship them logistically. It causes them a lot of stress. And it's a lot more difficult. It's a lot harder to do that. You can buy them locally, sure, but having one shipped is kind of hard, and I don't know if I can get them locally. It's not even important. I only want 2. I don't want to risk them having to fight when they get older. I only want 2. So having 29 gallons is more than enough for 2 dart frogs. I have a lot of dry we have a lot of dry seasons here, so it is beneficial to me to put in a water feature, even if I don't have to run it all the time, and that's kind of intended. I'm going to be designing this so it doesn't have to be run. Don't fuck with stuff, Murph. And the water feature itself, the only floor space, because the dart frogs don't climb walls. They really don't hang out in the treetops. They hang out on the forest floors. The only floor space I'm going to be taking up with this is right here. Just like, literally like less than the size of my hand. I have big hands, so it doesn't really mean that much, but less than the size of my hand, there'll be a little pond right here. And that's only because I need somewhere for a waterfall to drip into, and that'll be brought back over into the pump and cycling back around. So I'm not actually going to be eating up a lot of the floor space that they will have available to them. Get that... I have to learn how to point now. Get that Dreepy. Howdy, girl. Yeah, so I'm going to be putting in a water feature. Just, to me, it makes more sense to have a water feature than it does to not. It's going to be kind of a pain because I don't have every single resource available to me to finish the whole background, but we can get it started. We can get it started. And I already started. While the power was out earlier, I actually cut some of the things I needed. So, corrugated plastic. What the plan currently is yeah, there's a Mythics on me. Hey, someone noticed. What the current plan is so the tank is wobbly, or table wobbly, because I'm seeing a lot of movement. Table's wobbly. This is on a really shitty table, because I had to bring it into my office. So, table wobbly, don't worry. It's not, like, gonna fall over or nothing, but you're gonna be seeing some movement, sadly. Bringing out the inner Italian, I have to, like, I have to emote with the hands. Why am I doing, like, Spider-Man stuff? Anyways, so, this stuff, I already cut. This is going to be going into the corner here, and it's sized so it goes underneath this lip. There's the bottom. This will be going into the corner. Forget that's much earlier for you guys picturing you cutting them out in pitch dark. It was actually really dark. We brought lights into the laundry room for you to do this. There's only like basement lights, like just like those little like cubes of glass that are up against like the edge of the house at the very top of the room in basements. That's all we had. So I brought lights in, like little flashlights and such. But yeah, it was actually very dark. So yeah, we have we're gonna have this here. The pump is gonna be back here. I'm actually gonna have to cut a hole in the back of this at some point so I can put a drain in just for my own sanity. I don't have to. I want to. So yeah, this will be here. hole at the top, and we're going to have to build what will be the water feature going across the back, and then maybe going out. That one I'm still a little bit iffy on if I'm going to be doing that right now, purely because I have cork arriving, and when I finish this background, this is just a bunch of black silicone just really roughly put on here and smeared around. When I put the background on here, I will be using a lot of that cork bark to give the background a lot of texture and to, like, you know, give some spaces for the frogs to climb up if they want to. And I need that cork before I put the rest of the background stuffs on. But I'm going to be putting a cork around to be the output for the thing, because this side is open glass, so we're going to see it. And it will look awful if it's just like, if it looks like this. So we might not be doing the finished waterfall, but we want to bring the thing over. That's the current plan. We also have to upgrade we have to do some work on these things before they're finished. We can test it. I have the pump. We have power here, obviously. So we can actually test the water feature and see kind of how we're liking it. That's kind of the plan for today. If that package of cork arrives, then we can do the next step, which would be really nice, because that step will take like a day to cure. After I think about it, a lot of stuff's going to use silicone that has to take a day to cure. So even still, we might not be able to actually finish that step anyways. Oh. Fuck. I was trying to lay it right across here. Anyways, I'm going to put this over to the side. Silicone. Yeah, silicone. Yeah, putting this over to the side, and let's get this thing started. Okay, I think it's best if I lay this thing down. Although I have to lay it down with... How do I have an idea. So yeah, we're gonna lay this thing down. Let's flip down for just a second. Moving this closer. Oh wow, that light right up the top is going to be real annoying, isn't it? Show its bottoms like that. Oh yeah. I'm gonna see what it's like if I turn off that light, because that's really... Oh, that's super annoying me. Well, it's really dark. You can see my reflection. Howdy, face reveal, right? Don't spank it. Don't tell me what to do. But hey, that's probably a little bit easier than dealing with that otherwise. Very... Nope. Okay. We have a slight problem. I can't leave the doors open because they put a lot of pressure on the glass. You know, I don't know what to do with that. Because I have to attach the plastic, the corrugated plastic to the back. A cat bed stool or something and rest the door on it. Well, I would, but there's a slight problem. It's being used. There's a Varasha right there. Like 1,000,000 boxes. Maybe? Like, honestly, I can reach it from underneath. The problem is your view, which I guess that black bar is really in the way, too. You know what? Let's see if I can't move this a little bit closer. To think I actually did some testing of cameras and such. What is that hitting? That's hitting something. Oh, okay. Like, really, it's just an issue of y'all's view. That's probably the best we're gonna get right now. Hey, camera reveal. Hey, I'll have to work. All right. So this is the width of the container that's going to be holding the pump. And while yes, you can't see the bottom because of this bar here, where the edge of the silicone is, this black silicone here, that's where the edge of the substrate will be, where like all the dirt and everything will be below this line. So we are not going underneath that line. So if it comes out, let's say around here-ish, we could just bring it almost straight down to around here. But I kind of want it to like stutter step a little bit, like it goes out a little bit, drops, goes out a little bit. Because then we can have another drop here, going out, drop again into the little puddle. That might be kind of neat. I'm brightening up some lights here. Hopefully this helps somewhat. Oh no, that's so much brighter. Holy crapola. Let there be light. Yep. Alright. Problem is, look, I only have so much corrugated plastic. And you notice it doesn't go the full length of this terrarium space. Cat hair all over this thing. I leave it against the wall for 1 second and it's covered in cat hair. So we're gonna have to do the stair step system, aren't we? Like, let's say, put this in here just so we have a sense of the width of this. Because if we go the full length, and then we cut out a little bit to be like the edge of it, that way obviously the water's not spilling over the side. Like, I'm going to be doing other things to it to make it kind of stay contained, but you get the idea. Like, we could probably use up like that much for just this length right here. If we want to, we can cut it in half and make like a stair step. Shorten it a little bit because we have to have it overlap. But we have all of this space down here that we can cut up and use for things. We only really... I have just skull pieces right here. I'm going to move this, that way we can actually see what the heck I'm doing. How'd I get this in here so easily? There we go. Just down for just a second. Because what I'm thinking is, obviously, you know, we have the length of the thing flat, but we need to have a shelf on it that way the water doesn't spill over. It doesn't be this big. It can be like a fraction of this thing's height. But every single piece is going to have another piece cut with it. Yeah, I honestly can't see a way other than just cutting out this whole length just as a thing. And we have to cut a little bit more than we think we're going to need for the bottom of the water feature. Because, yeah, this will be pressed up against, you know, the side of this. We're going to glue it down. We're going to silicone it down. But all of this background is going to get covered in expanding foam. We're going to cover in expanding foam. Way the water wide. Why the water wide? Because it won't be wide in the end. Because, let's say, you know, we cut out this strip, like, wide enough that we want it to be. Or let's say just this wide. We attach it to the side, and we put a bunch of expanding foam on it, and it expands that far. Our water width is only this wide now. But we want that expanding foam to be covering part of it, because that's going to be giving us a lot of support. So, yeah, we're gonna be cutting it much wider than we think. It also means that I have space to put rocks in it to, one, break up the water flow, make it a bit more natural, and two, I can put like material at the bottom of it and just kind of like, I can make it look a lot better than just plastic hard square terrarium feature water brushy whatever. I realize I have a thing to cut on, like I have a self-healing mat to cut on, then I realize I don't care. But square! Build your own Dart Frog enclosure. I honestly, we probably just want to use half of this for this whole feature, like this whole top part, because even if like we use the whole thing and it's almost as long as I need it to be, if I decide to cut it in half, then it'll only overlap a little bit, only shorten it by a little bit, which just means that, oh no, the water feature isn't up against the edge. Yeah, let's just, I can't imagine not using basically half of this. Like, we cut half of it off here, and then we do the wall part. How high do I want that wall part to be? I don't want the wall part to be that high. Can't have pets. Well, okay, just don't tell them that they're poison dart frog. Or don't tell them that it's safe to handle poison dart frogs. What are they gonna do? Take them out? They'll think they're gonna die. You're gonna have to remove your poison dart frogs. Oh yeah? Try it. Gosh, why am I completely unable to see where the middle is? There we go. Really messy cut. I don't care. Net and or jar or take the whole tank. Go for it. Take your frogs. Go for it. No taking people's frogs. Alright. So, like that is way wider than we need to be. Keep in mind, where's that other... There's that other... It'll only be up this high, so we actually made this wider than what this whole tube will be. No frogs, I'd rather steal Merv. Frogs are cool! So yeah, we can shorten this down significantly and still be totally okay. And I know a trick to make this a little bit nicer. This is so staticky. It's like the cats are on screen at all times. There's so much cat hair on it. Holy crap! Alright. So, I don't know, let's say that high. Actually, no, not that high of a wall. That high of a wall. We only need to, like, hold back water, and not much these things actually going. So. We only cut through one side of the corrugated plastic. Just a little carefully. Oh my gosh. Well, that looks like a fucking mess. Whatever, we'll be covered in foam later. There we go. Then we can just bend it. And there we go! Become a hairball. I'm not gonna lick the hair off of the thing. So yeah. Yeah, we now have our edge. Look at that. Too bad it's white on white and this room is so bright right now because of the direct lighting. But yeah. Makes that a lot easier. I don't have to attach that with silicone or nothing. And it is as wide as the output. Which, you know, is fine. Okay, so like, hell, if we start this kind of high up, we can have it go like this, going down. Do we want to have a stair step in it? Like, I could cut this in half, and then have it like, you know, overlap a little bit, and it kind of falls onto another piece before it goes over and falls off again, going towards the front. I'm so iffy on that, just because, like, I feel like this is probably going to be plenty, because I can put, I put stuff here, I can put a bunch of rocks and things on this, and make it actually, like, meander or look more interesting. I don't have to have it drop water in the middle, right? We're going to have it drop water at the end. So, I'm trying to think of the benefits, and it's like, other than looking cool, that's about all I can think of. Like, I'm making it more complex. It's going to be... actually, no. There is one benefit. There is one benefit to it. Having two smaller pieces means that there's less weight on each piece in water. So, well, no, there's the same amount of foam underneath in relation to it. So, it'll be able to support it just as well either way. Yeah, like, we're not going to have an issue with, like, you know, supporting the water weight. Like, it'll look cooler. That's about it. Do we think it's worth it looking cooler? Like, imagine only going halfway over with like a gentle slope or something, and then it gets a little bit steeper right here, maybe. It'd probably do the same thing. So it'd be like going over about yay far, and then the other part would just kind of drop down. Yeah, so going over about yay far. I'm looking at the camera feed so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Going about yay far, and then it drops down and goes. And looking back on the project thing, you should have done a thing. That's very true. That is very true. Oh gosh. If I actually, if I do the stair step, I actually could put a fern up here. Because that'll give more room up here because I'm dropping the level significantly in one spot. Oh yeah, no, I actually have two plants coming in the mail soon. One is a whitefoot's rabbit fern, or white rabbit's foot fern or something. And the other is like Cumula depressa is the name of the plant, like the scientific name of the plant. But the common name is Tiny Tears, and I love it. It's such a cute fucking name for a plant. It's a depressed Tiny Tears plant. And I didn't get the one I was looking for because it wasn't in stock at the time. The other common name for the other one is baby tears. So there's a plant that's called I think it's Cumula depressa. Common name baby tears. So it's like oh sorry, no. Yeah, I think it's baby tears. It's like tiny depressed baby, basically. You know, it's a really cute plant. Alright. Let's cut this bitch in half. Let's just cut this bitch in half. I've decided it. I like the idea. Trying to think how best to do so. And honestly, I think I'm just going to eyeball it. I don't think I care enough. Because it's going to be covered in foam. Plant. Yeah, it's a really good plant, too. Like, genuinely, it's a really nice looking plant. It's like, I'm happy to have it when it arrives, obviously. Later, I'll do a plant reveal. Show what we're going to be putting into the vivarium. It's lucky I'm cutting off camera, so if I do cut myself, Twitch doesn't get too upset at me. I'm joking. I won't cut myself. Cutting through it this way is a lot harder, so I have to do multiple passes, doing it very gently. Alright, 2 pieces. Move that over just a second. So we could do like this, and then it stair steps down a bit, and does like that. Which is actually really low. Found another punk you get called Baby's Tears, and the other name for it is literally Mind Your Own Business? Oh, that's amazing! Yeah, so the plant that I'm looking at is Tiny Tears. Baby Tears is like the same plant, or is a slightly different version of the same plant. They are different. They have apparently different leaf shapes, but yeah, Baby's Tears is the one I was looking at getting, but they're out of stock when I was getting all the stuff, and I want to get it all from one side if I can, for obvious reasons. Shipping. Yeah, so we could make this a little bit more shallow. Then we have space for plants right here. I also have an ivy binding plant, so that could even just like stretch from down there up across here, and that'd be kind of cool. Once it grows in, obviously. It won't be like that immediately. The plant's only like this long currently. Yeah, so we do this, and then we just have like cork bark coming out a little ways. Yeah, no, actually, I kind of like that. Part of me kind of wants this to be a little bit steeper, but I think it's probably steep enough as is. Because if it's too shallow, then when I put rocks and such in, it might not have enough force to kind of go over, and it might try and go over this way. So yeah, I think we want it to be steeper wherever we reasonably could. I worry that this is too low, so we might even get rid of the cork bark tube coming out and just put the pond right there. Because otherwise, we're gonna have to do something like that. Or we could massively overlap these, and then have the tube right here. See, I have to be kind of mindful with how I'm doing this because I'm gonna have to silicone this in place and then put tape on it to hold it in. And I can remove it, like I can use a razor to remove it, but that if I ever have to remove silicone, I have to let the new stuff cure, and that takes 24 hours, or roughly 24 hours. So every single time I have to make a change from here on out, it delays it by a day. You create? Well, good, I'm gonna be creating. Leaning over is annoying, so I'm kneeling down now. Oh, fuck. Because, like, remember, we're only going to around where the silicone layer is. So we want enough space coming straight up, like, towards the camera, but coming out to waterfall. But I'm looking at the preview, actually. That looks plenty steep to me. Like how we can even start this a little bit higher if I'm worried at all. Because it's not a problem where it comes out up here. Like, I haven't cut the holes for the output yet, so we can put it anywhere up here. Fuck. Like, I'm kind of liking that. Like, we have an overlap of about yay much. It doesn't... The overlap, all it does is just give us a stair step and, like, determines how long the whole run will be. Like, that's not too bad. Yeah. Alright, raise it up. What am I doing? Raise it up. This is so awkward to hold. Ah! Okay. So, with that in mind, we need to put where the hole will be coming out of this. And I didn't grab my marker. Be right back. 1 second. My marker wasn't over there. And I don't know where it is. It's not in my pocket. Oh, it's right here. Crocheting with fluffy yarn is going to be an experience. Yes! Make bunny socks. That sounds adorable. Alright. So... for 6 of sanity, I am going to set it up like this. And we're thinking around that high. Maybe like right around there. So what we want is we want the hole for the stuffs to be right around here-ish. No, this over here a little bit more. if it's too big of a hole, that's not too big of a problem. So that's the space we have to cut out. It's really, really bad cutting. Or really, really bad doodling in there, but whatever. We're going to cut it mostly square. Hi, Nifix, I'm wearing a shirt. You left it here. Anyways. Craft with us. Yes. Get poisonous dart frogs. It's great fun. I'm using a knife. Trying to trim this thing down. Oh, I just didn't cut through it all the way on the other side. Wow, I really did not cut through that thing at all. Come on. There we go. You still... No, you left it here. Confused this thing while grabbing your bag. Sorry, why are you grabbing your bag? Alright. You about to head out? Alright, so we have this. Where there's a hole in it. Fancy, I know. We put a hole in a board. So we need to find a way to support these structures on here while stuff cures. Because I need to silicone the ever-living fuck out of this. And the silicone is a 10-minute working time. Like, 11 minutes if you're lucky. So, you're driving, listening in, no, I won't text while doing so, don't worry. Good! Fucking really shouldn't be texting while driving. But yeah, go drive. Go on your adventures. Figure your stuff out. Driving soon. Yeah, no, figure your stuff out. I'm over here just building a frog terrarium. Vivarium, paludarium, all these terms. Alright. So, I feel like I need to set this thing in first. Like, I need to silicone this bitch in. We're gonna get nuggets? Yes, we're getting nuggets! As long as they're gluten-free nuggets. I can't have other ones. And I'd be sad if I can't have nuggets. I was promised nuggets. And I expect nuggets. Alright, so yeah. I need to silicone this in place! What sauce do you want? Honey and ketchup. I mix the two together and it's really good. Alright. So we have to silicone this bitch in, but we can't silicone it in yet. Nugget! Yeah, we can't silicone it in because, you see those holes at the bottom? I have to put screen over that. Dino! We're getting dino nuggets. Confirmed. Here. Yes, it is. There, it's just like one of my hairs on my arm. They've never done dino nuggies without fries. There we go. Alright. So this is a bunch of mesh. Amazing. I know. That is a lot of nuggies. So this mesh is window screen mesh. Amazing. I know. But no, this mesh is the substrate barrier. So what you need in a proper like terrarium for anything like this is you need what's called a false bottom. And a false bottom is basically amount of space that has a lot of voids in it so that the extra water can go down there and pool inside of there and be like a pool at the bottom without touching the dirt. If it's touching the dirt, then the dirt will whisk it back up. And remember at the beginning where I said that dart frogs especially need their feet to be dry and their backs to be wet. Well, if the dirt's completely soaked, then they get foot rot and it's bad for them. So you put a false bottom in. But because it's a space filled with a bunch of voids, how do you keep the dirt from getting down there? Substrate barrier. So window screen mesh, you put it on top of the false bottom and you coat this with dirt. But you may notice I have a fuck ton of this because we're going to be siliconing the mesh onto these things at the bottom. So that way any material inside the false bottom doesn't get sucked into the pump. Because the pump is going to be housed inside of this chimney I'm putting in the corner. So if we, obviously attach a bunch of window screen onto this, we make sure that no insects or dirt or material or detritus will ever get into the pump and cause damage to the pump. Important. Very important. Now, I need to actually figure out what I'm doing here because obviously, I guess the bottom will be siliconed in. So really, we only need to just coat the thing and then put silicone along the edges, because when we attach the silicone bottom, I'll attach a bead along that screen. That way, then nothing gets underneath the screen. Yeah. The real question is, what side do we put it on? I'm thinking the front, because that way the water pressure hitting it will force the mesh to be held on better, rather than, if it's on the back, it'll be forced in and then kind of pushed against it, and that doesn't do as well. Silicone that bench. God, this is so much window screen. There's actual real products for this, but honestly, window screen layered over twice is actually just as good. Yeah, it's not metal either, so it's not gonna rust or anything. Also, it won't rest. Let me actually figure out how big a space I need. Okay, yeah, about yay big. Oh, that cuts so easily. I'll have to make this a little bit taller than we need, because that way I get space underneath to fold it over. Boop. Just like that. Now, do we need 2 layers? I think we need 2 layers just to ensure that nothing gets in. I might cut these holes a little bit bigger then, just so that there's ample water flow, because eventually stuff gets into the false bottom. It's inevitable. The Vivarium complex stuff the water check for your legion will turn back into 4. Currently I'm mistaking. Oh no! Well, when I have the water feature built, you can take a shower with the frogs. Hug! I'll bring water! So yeah, we want this to make sure that there's enough water flow going through here. I do triangles because I'm lazy. So yeah, we can just do that, layer that, give it a little bit of a layer over. I'm just trying to piece this together in my head. Yeah, no, that seems like it'd be kind of the best option. So I'm actually going to get super glue just to hold this on for right now, because I'm not taking out the silicone until we do the whole thing. Cyanoacrylite is completely animal safe when it's done drying. It's done curing. So this is not a threat to anything. We also have to be very, 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 very careful with any chemicals we use for a dart frog enclosure, because they soak everything through their skin. If you have too much lotion on your hands and pick them up, you can cause harm to the dart frogs. So having materials that will dry completely harmless to them is so important. Kind of wish I had gel super glue rather than liquid. I don't know if that's going to work. I only need to hold it down for long enough, so... high frogs. No, dead frogs, actually. Dead frogs. Would not be high frogs. They'd be dead frogs. Yeah, gloves. Yep. You can handle dart frogs barehanded if you wash your hands beforehand very thoroughly. That is confirmed, totally okay. There's plenty of soaps that are completely non-harmful to them. I think actually what I have as my main soap is actually totally cool as well. I won't be handling them by hand whenever I can avoid it. Like, I have no intent to touch the dart frogs other than once to get a photo to prove to people that they're totally safe. And to send to friends who hear that I have poisoned dart frogs and are worried for my health. Because it'd be funny to send that to them and then not talk to them for a week. Yeah, they're totally safe. Photo of me holding poisoned dart frogs. Radio silence. Good enough? Ah, fuck. Really? Really? I let go for 1 second, and my fucking thumb is now glued to the... Exclamation point highlight. Could someone please? That's the problem with super liquid super glue. Yeah, I know, gloves, but like, I need to feel what I'm doing. Alright. Rest of it. This is probably just gonna be one big piece. It just goes straight across. Alright, now let's try to fold this back together. Fuck, how did this fold back together? I'm studying the curves of the freaking bends. Okay, I think it folded over in the middle. Yep, that makes sense. That's lining up. That does not line up there. That folds over later. Does this fold over here? No, it does not. Okay, it looks like it folds over like that. Then that, and that. Got it! Don't need this for right now. I dropped the bag. Louder! You telling me I need to be louder? Fine, I'll talk louder! Oh my god! I'm being demanded to yell! Alright, let's cut these a little bit bigger. Just to ensure that we have enough water going through this. I need to have that support in the middle so that I can put the glue down safely. Okay, there we go. Slightly different shape, but that'll let a lot more. I can't fucking see my stitches. Oh, the work you're doing. Okay, I was about to say, like, I have no stitches. Alright, so that. We hold it down flat. We have a little bit of overlap. App, app, app. Brush is checking out some of the table stuff to the side here. Anyways, bud, good luck. Give this a moment to start to dry, start to cure. Again, we just need this to hold it down, so that way when I get to the silicone stage, because silicone is, so thick that it's really hard to like put into this, so you have to press it down. You have to do one or two things when you're doing this type of work, right? Either you put down the silicone bead ahead of time, and then you apply the, like, you put the mesh on top of it and you press it in, or you put the thing down, then you apply silicone on top. But you have to press the silicone in to get into the mesh and make sure it's contacting the other side. The problem with the with the silicone first mesh on top method in this instance is that the mesh is so fine that it's going to be hard to not have the silicone then like basically bulge out underneath and try to get into the like crevices here. So I want to do silicone on top. And I need this to stay still because the mesh isn't exactly, you know, compliant all the time. Alright, so that should be good enough. I'm expecting my hands to be stuck to it again because I just said good enough. Get out of here. Alright. So, God, I'm so worried. Because not only do we have to silicone those things on, but first we have to actually silicone this thing into place. Because we need to know where we're going to put the panels. But, along with that, I want to put some silicone. Oh, yeah, y'all can't see it super well due to the lighting, but this is corrugated. So this is a bunch of hollow tubes going straight through. In fact, actually, if I put it in a slight shadow, you can kind of see. It's corrugated. Bunch of tubes. I want to put a bead of silicone along the top of this. So that way, just nothing kind of gets in. Just on the off chance. Because I feed these things with fruit flies. They may be wingless fruit flies, but fuckers can crawl everywhere. So I want to prevent having a tube for them to crawl into and die. It wouldn't really be a problem, honestly, but ounce of prevention, right? So yeah, we're going to be siliconing the top closed. Sorry, I just realized I have a lot of adhesive right there. That's not glue. That's not glue. Well, it is glue, but it's not the glue that I'm using. Where's the roll of paper towels I have in here? There it is. Isopropyl ethylene alcohol. Get rid of that gunk. Nothing on the inside too, that'd be a lot harder to clean. And I need to go grab that thing of sandpaper. I will be right back, because I gotta scuff up the outside for the stuff to adhere to it easier. So, 1 second. Bon, I'm not gonna die. Rude. Sandpaper. Grab my 3 Musketeers, because I can. Chocolate break. All right. Your chocolate, please. Yeah, can I have one? You want one? This I have like 3 of these bags. They were on extreme sale, and sometimes it's nice just to have a thing of chocolate. Actually, I have a lot of sweets right now. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna pan the camera up. Don't judge me too harshly. That's all Nerds candy. That's all Nerds candy corn. Obviously, the bag of materials I showed. All of this is full, and I have more right there and a little bit up there. I literally have this shelf is fucking full of candy right now. Who needs lunch? I can just eat some chocolate instead. Chocolate! Hey, it's a good shirt. I almost got the other one because I made some like artwork for it, like some artwork in inspired by it, but decided I like the colors on this one a bit more. Damn. I have no idea how I had this before. Oh my god, why does all this feel like it's not zoomed in correctly? Good enough. Good enough! Ugh. Bart getting food. Go get food! Right! Like, that, I really like that headshot. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I like doing, really... I'm changing my wardrobe out for bright colors, and this fun comes in mint! So how can I avoid? How can I resist? Cherry pin-up yesterday? Honestly, that cherry piece, like, that thing works for, like, vinyl stickers and shit. Like, it honestly is such a versatile piece. It's a good one. I liked it. Happy y'all are enjoying it too. You stupidly cheap Christmas pack? Not right. Oh wait, we do have stupidly cheap Christmas biscuit packs right now. Ooh. So those here at Halloween, I know. Like, regional candies, right? Seconds. Is there just anything special for Halloween? You ever put anything on sale? Damn. Damn, though. Alright, we gotta scuff this bitch up. I apologize for the sounds. This is gonna be a bad sound. A little bit more. You know, the after Halloween sales and after Easter sales are where I get most of my candy for like the whole year. One year, one group was selling like Reese's eggs. Like, imagine, like, you know, egg like this freaking big. That was just filled with the, like, it was chocolate outside and filled with the Reese's peanut butter. Those things, no one wanted them for some reason. So they had like trays of them for sale for like $1 a tray. I literally spent like $5 and got like, I think like 150 of these eggs. And I was just starting a diet. So what I did was I made it so that was like a 1 a day thing. Like, I got 1 a day. And that was like the treat for the day, was just a giant Reese's egg. It was very effective. Alright, that's got a good texture to it. This one's turn. Really? Ready to... I have too many to do that right now. Peanut butter chocolate, or should be far too off. It was thicker chocolate, but you're right. It was way off. It was way too far off. There's a reason not a lot of them were sold, I think. I think someone got... Like, people got one and just went, nah. You know, I'm paranoid doing that right on the glass, actually. Like, they weren't bad. I enjoyed them. I ate all of them. But I prefer the ratio a bit more skewing, like, the skewing a little bit different, right? Spot right there. All right. So, I'm roughing this up, not for the silicone, but for the insulating, or the spray foam later. Because I'm not coating this in the silicone, so the spray foam will have a worse time adhering. So I want to make sure that it has something to grip to. Not that I think it would be too big of a problem on this part, because it would have enough support on the other parts with the silicone to not really fall off. But I've heard horror stories, and it takes me 2 minutes to put some texture on this, and makes it almost impossible for it to come off. That adhesive is still there. That's annoying me. All right, textured but not dusty. Textured but not dusty. Throw this away. Grab that trash bag over here. Or trash can. I'm gonna grab. Just about to grab something. I don't remember what it was. Drink some water. Water break. Oh, that's right. Gloves. 1 second. Grabbing gloves. Glove up! Thing about peanut butter made me realize I don't eat regular peanuts often because it turns peanut butter as you chew it, and I'm not a big fan of a lot of peanut butter. And yet, you give me a pack of peanut M&Ms, and that peanut M&M container is going to be fucking gone by that afternoon. I have to slow myself down with peanut M&Ms. I have to be careful whenever I mention M&Ms because then Hentamo gets really sad. Yep, there she is. Same, but crunchy nem-nems. Right, you always have to be careful mentioning crunchy nem-nems. Alright. So this will be easier to attach if it's vertical. Yeah, it has some drippage to it, but it means I don't have to, like, balance it together. I can just kind of, you know, M&Ms. Remember that for later, guys? Oh, no, trust me. There's actually a different candy that I consider the weakness. Like, I have to... There is a candy out there that I have to actively avoid eating. Because if I have a little bit, I get a craving for 5 bags of it. I cannot stress this enough. There is a candy out there that is like, it is a problem for me. Like, I haven't had one of these in like like 6 years because of this. There's another one that's close. But that one isn't made anymore. So, I don't have to care. What's this candy? I'll send you a bag. If you do, it would literally just be thrown out. Like, I really am not joking when I say that I actively avoid these candies. And I don't know why I like these things so much, but, gummy lifesavers. Fucking gummy lifesavers, for some reason, just triggers the crack cocaine in my brain. Like, a crack cocaine reaction in my brain. But yeah, why sad? Hentebo cannot get peanut M&Ms. M&Ms are not sold in Norway at all. She really wants peanut M&Ms again. Yeah, gummy lifesavers. I don't know why. But just gummy lifesavers are like, hey, cool, thanks. Give me like 12 more now. Bags. No, you bastard. I actually looked into why Norway doesn't sell M&Ms a bit, because Hentebo talked about it and it seemed weird to me. So I double checked, and yeah, she was dead on the money. One second, I'm moving stuff aside so I can change out the camera position. Boop. But no, so when Mars was expanding internationally, what they did was it was easier and cheaper and probably better quality, knowing the distance, to instead of making them and making a factory in Norway, or generally overseas, actually, they contacted local companies and said, hey, do you want to make this together? If we make this, you're allowed to sell it in your area, and we'll show you how to make it. And so they made a deal with actually quite a few different brands in different areas of the world, but for the Norway, Netherlands, and Sweden, I think in those 3 countries, there's one company that was responsible for the M&Ms there. But they didn't call them M&Ms because they didn't think that would sell as well. They called them just M's. They were called M's, like obviously different regions, different stuffs, right? Not Sweden? Okay. I know it was 3 countries that were really close to each other. It was like, I think it was Norway, Netherlands, and Dutch? Honestly, the one that's not important, it's not important which 3. All that matters is Norway. But yeah. So they just called them M's in their region. However, the contract didn't have an end date. Like, they never stipulated at all. They just kind of said, yeah, you're allowed to make them. And they gave them the resources and tools to make them. And they did. For like 40 years. And they make them to this day. But M&M's, or Mars specifically, grew as a business, grew as a company, and said, okay, well now we can make make a factory over another country, or we can ship them with enough speed where it's not going to be a problem for the quality of our product. So they started selling M&Ms in Norway and these other 2 countries that I can't remember the name of. And that company was still making M's, but the contract hadn't expired. It never could. So what they did was they sued M&M's because it was hard. It was basically sued them for like trademark infringement because they had a trademark on M's in their region. And when it was approached, when it went to courts, like M&M's tried to say, yeah, no, we told them to make this stuff. That's basically our product. But the other group went, yo, you showed us how to, and then you completely dropped it. So this is the thing that we're making, and it's different from yours, but everyone thinks it's the same thing because it's a candy-coated chocolate candy that has an M on it. So everyone's going to think it's the same stuff. So M&M's, or Mars, lost the lawsuit. So they can't sell M&M's in these countries because of copyright infringement, trademark infringement. And they're the ones to blame, too. So yeah, M&Ms not sold in a few countries because M&Ms just wanted to sell them before they could grow into them more directly. Like, and it's not an irrational thing to do. In fact, the only irrational thing they did was not put an end date on the freaking contract. Anyways, I have to attach stuff to this. I want to turn on the lights again because it's dark in here otherwise, so give me a moment. I'm dimming these two lights first. It gets really warm in here really fast. Oh! Okay. That still feels really bright on my shirt, but this is the important part. So, this part sucks. I like my caulk gun. You shouldn't. It's a really cheap caulk gun. I don't actually know how much is left in this tube, but I have spares. So what we're going to do is, one, trim that up because that's not great. This is one of the risks stipulated in the method of internationalizing is the external method. You very little control the image of your brand. In this case, with Norway M&Ms, takes lack control to the extreme. Exactly. It wouldn't surprise me if they're used as an example of like when you have to be careful with that form of internationalizing. And theoretically, you could control the image of your brand with it. But by that point, you're not going to get a company willing to sign up with you if one of these stipulations in the contract is check with us before you do anything. Like, that's so limiting. And it implies that you know exactly what that market will want. Which you won't. There's almost a 0% chance you'd be able to understand what that market would do well versus someone who literally exists in that fucking market, in that culture and everything. Ooh. Okay, I actually had to trim this up at the bottom a bit because that is pushing up somewhat. Ugh. Yeah, that's not really doing what I would want. Well, I kind of have to, though. Direct between external. Yeah. Afternoon, Saluna. Low streamer shows cock live on stream. Banned for 3 days. Live news 4K. This part sucks. Also, you remind me of kind of sweet. That's impossible to find because I believe they have like bottle caps or fizzy bottle caps. Not the bottle caps you're thinking of. I had them exactly once at a machine at a sports center and never found them again. I think they were discontinued, but I can't find any information about them. God, there's been some candies that have just been discontinued. Yeah. Methods can't talk. They're saying that it is not illegal for them to have M&Ms. M&Ms are not barred in the country or anything. It is totally legal for them to have them. Mars is not legally allowed to sell them. That's the important thing. Any other method, totally fine. I can ship Pentabo M&Ms. In fact, I have a box ready to go, but I'm making sure that stuff doesn't take like 5 months to get to her because, well, it's kind of going to be a waste of a bunch of M&Ms at that point, right? Like, I go grab the box to show it, but it kind of has someone's address on it. Please ready head to his house because she's obsessed with M&Ms. Yeah, fine. I told you. Let me know when that one package arrives. Gotta see if that works. Okay. The kind of a tight fit, which is totally fine, actually. So, I have to run a bead of silicone across the middle, up the sides, across this middle, on all of this. Mars will sell them, they have to change the name of the product, and it's harmful to brand identity, so they don't. Not just the name of the product. They have to change how it's produced. Because the copyright specifically is that it is hard to differentiate the candies themselves from each other. If they change the packaging and the labeling, that's one thing, and that would be something they can do. And it's not impossible for a lot of companies to do this. But it is a candy-coated chocolate candy with an M stamped on it. So it is the identity of the item itself. They would have to change what an M&M is and then sell those instead. Which, I mean, now we're getting back into identity of a market, identity of an item in a market. It just might not be feasibly possible to do that and still be expected to turn a profit on your stuff if you have to make a whole new factory and production line for something when a similar product exists in that market. So it's like, it's just not really gonna happen unless they're allowed to just sell M&Ms directly. So still in different names in other countries though? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's funny because there's M&Ms and Smarties here in the UK. Smarties are sugar-coated chocolate with an S printed on them. I know! But I honestly, I've seen a Smartie and I've seen an M&M, and they're like, I can tell the difference in a food bowl, you know? Tax-free stores make a ton of money on M&Ms though. Right, it's not a it's not a problem of like of them being wanted. It's a thing of legally they're not allowed to. Peanut covered chocolate. You know, I can't think of actually a product that's a bit of chocolate coated in peanut. Like we have a nut roll, but that's like a nougat or cream core, and I guess in some cases a caramel core that's coated, that's rolled in chocolate. Hollow nut peanut filled with chocolate. Alright, if we can get that to work, sure. By the way, I'm delaying this because I'm so paranoid about this step. If I fuck up this step, one, it sets me back over a day. Put my hand somewhere where it can be seen. And two, I'll have to recut this thing and get another one. Now, legalized here in Ohio. Heyo! Yeah, it's legal here in Minnesota now, too. For recreational use, it is legalized. Alright, I'm gonna put the lid on... Actually, no, the lid doesn't... Yeah, the lid won't be a problem. Fuck, I'm so paranoid. Could you sell it coated in sugar with an M stamped on it? Oh, fuck. You know, I just realized I have to put silicone on the bottom there first. Alright, well, let's start with this part. Pinching this, that way it kind of stays down a little bit better. Go lurk, Dusk! So it does sell more than M stamped on it, I would buy that shit immediately. Alright. So we do this. We have about 11 minutes to work. We press this in. Because we want the silicone to adhere the screen down. But we don't want the silicone to be like getting in the way of the screen's intended purpose. God, this stuff fucking smells awful. As the phrase goes, when you can smell it, you have 11 minutes left to live. Normally it's in reference to how long you have to work with it, by the way. This shouldn't be dangerous for me to breathe in right now. At least, not terribly dangerous. Alright. So those two are good. I'm not reusing this glove. Then funny people complain Ohio has fallen on Twitter. Oh fuck, I got silicone on my hand. How? I had a glove! What's the purpose of a glove? So funny. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Ohio has nothing going on. They fucking needed recreational marijuana. All right, Ohio, let it be known for corn and weed. Give them something to do. Like, I was trapped there for a weekend, or I almost was trapped there for a weekend because there was a fishing jamboree happening in a lake smaller than the lake near my freaking house. 3 nearby cities dropped everything for this fucking fishing jamboree. They had nothing going on. Alright. So now we can kind of try and place this in here. I'm just saying, let them be high. That was most astronauts, I think. Yes, it does. Also, we're gonna be the booty master, also Wendigos. High in the stars. I'm just saying, like, you can leave. Wendigos, like, they're a cultural thing that exists in a lot of places. It's just like, you know. Here's options. Alright. Paranoia. Anxiety. Let's do this! Send it! This just went out. Oh no, it just had a gunk in it. And we just do a quick swipe on this. Get this kind of sealed up. Oh, it smells like vinegar. Like, you ever just open up a container of fresh vinegar and just take a whiff of it? Congrats, you now know what I'm experiencing. Why is this up? Okay, we're doing this in steps. Like, giving this a moment to cure. Okay, when I say vinegar, it's like also it's like that astringency, like that thing that like bites the back of your nose. That's really strong with this. Again, it's not the worst, right? I've gone through so much worse, but it's like it's annoying, and I have to like I'm kind of stuck with it for right now. I wouldn't do this in my office if it was something that I could not do. So somebody started a 10-minute timer, right? Maybe I should have done multiple sides at once. Huh. I took out masking tape so I can pin this thing to the sides too, and I totally forgot about that. Your timer's set for 9 minutes. Thank you. Honestly, that much time. So the 10-minute timer, what that does is it's when this material gets like the skin on it, the outside starts to cure, and it becomes technically unworkable. When you start moving around at that point, you're going to be kind of removing a lot of the material and just exposing the uncured stuff underneath rather than moving what you're trying to move. So, you know, being mindful of stuff, I guess. Anyways, I'm just gonna kind of talk while I'm doing this. So I coated 2 sides of this with silicone originally. This has been sitting for like 36 hours now. The 2 sides are the side that's gonna be against the wall, and of course the side against the wall. And it's I wanted 2 sides covered, both so I can have a corner set pump for the water feature, and so that I could have this wall covered, and make the frogs feel safer. Because having uncovered sides is like an exposed direct line of sight type of thing. And having it coated, or having it covered, means that they at least feel more secure. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of plants and plant coverage. They're going to feel comfortable in here. If I don't see them a lot, that's kind of a good thing to me, because they have space where they get to feel comfortable and safe. And apparently, when they feel really comfortable and safe, they're more willing to come out and see you more often. So, you know, it means I'll get to see frogs more. What's that timer at? I just realized I don't have chat time turned on this screen. 6 minutes, 30 seconds? Okay. Because it's already feeling actually a lot more stable, but I'm playing it safe. We have time to wait, you know? 14 minutes left? Ah, damn. That's a weird timer. Put the cap back on this thing. What timer? Oh yeah, Selena. This thing has a work time of like 10 to 11 minutes, and I want it to be kind of secure before I let go, because I kind of didn't prep correctly. So I had some people start a timer for me for how long I have to hold it here. I'm not risking it. Give it another couple of minutes before I like start working on the next side. So, how's everybody doing? Everyone having a good time? I almost didn't stream today. Like, literally, I go live at 10, and at 9, my power went out. That's when I normally post up commission stuffs, and I don't even know if I'm going to be doing commission stuffs either. Just, like, between this and, honestly, mostly this. I'm going to be honest with you, mostly just trying to finish the terrarium stuffs. 2 horrors. 2 entire gods! Heading home, your computer just got fixed, so he's stopping at Dairy Queen. Do you guys want something for Dairy Queen? I think I'm good for now. Thank you, though. I have tons of sweets to go through, so I'm gonna be kind of skipping Dairy Queen. I say I'm skipping Dairy Queen. I have a ton of sweets, and the camera glitches out. Woo! Also, I don't know why I used my ring finger to smear the silicone. Bruno, who's not done caulking before, I'm not gonna explain it. Dairy Queen curse. Yeah. Does Dairy Queen have mint chocolate chip? Normally, no. I've not gone to one that has one anyways. Hey, Dairy Queen. 4 minutes left. Alright. Yeah, normally they just do soft serve, and I haven't seen a soft serve mint. Like, they'll put a lot of stuff in a soft serve, but I don't think I'm familiar with like a mint thing for Dairy Queen. Yeah, we have a Dairy Queen Orange Julius in town, but it's in the worst possible location to get to. Like, it's far enough away from any parking lots that it's annoying to walk there, especially in a really hot day. But it's not easy to drive there because you only can reach it from one direction right before a really busy intersection. So it's like, if you want to drive there, it's like a small parking lot, and it's like you might be in a line to get there just because of the intersection. You're not even aligned in the freaking place. And when you leave, you have to wait for the light to be green for you to even leave and go out, and you can only go out the same direction you came in, so you can't even like turn around and go back home. You have to like go down the road more and go into a parking lot, turn around, and come back out. It's like the most annoying location any business could physically be in. And it's right next to a house, like a dude's house. Literally, like, he shares a fence with the drive-thru. He doesn't live there anymore. Apparently, he passed on, and his kid is selling the place. but like no one will buy it because it's next to the freaking Dairy Queen and it's the most obnoxious place to get in and out of because it's worse than the Dairy Queen in terms of like being next to this intersection. And I think he's trying to sell it to a business, so they'll open up a business store there. But unless they completely renovate the parking lot to attach to a different place's parking lot, it has the worst scenario of getting in and out, so no one wants it. We have a Dunkin' just like that. There's a Dunkin' Donuts right next door on the other side. Like, Dairy Queen, one side is Dude's house, other side is Dunkin' Donuts. And the Dunkin' Donuts shouldn't have even opened. It's across the street from a bakery shop that's like run by family. It's like a small town bakery shop that everyone loves. All right. I think that's good enough for now. I'll buy if we get free ice cream. No. The Dairy Queen hates that fucking house. Or at least the dude who lived there. Apparently he was an asshole. Thank you, Gopher. Alright, I am going... Where is my mouse? Wait, where is my mouse? There it is. There it is. 1 second. Oh, I have to turn on time codes or timestamps. Alright. Trying to see. I'm using this on my leg. Where the fuck is this? Chat appearance. Timestamps, new messages. There we go. Added. There. Bike time going quiet. Enjoy yourself. Alright, now I have some sense of time. Alright, go take care, Gopher. Yeah, next time we have to sit here for like 10 minutes waiting for a thing to cure, I can just move the camera over to Varasha or something. Wow, I'm making sock. Congrats. Thankfully, that should actually hold up. Just thinking about fluffy yarn can't see your mistakes. Hey! Good on you! Alright, I think I can actually get away with doing a second bead in here. I'm trying to decide if I want to try for the inside or not. And let's not risk that right now. yeah, I absolutely destroyed the bead at the bottom. No, wait, I didn't. It just kind of seems like it at first. Damn. I really should actually silicone the inside. Just for that security. Like, the bottom of this thing is going to be what holds back water. You put the sandpaper side outside? Yeah, I did. Sandpaper side is outside. The sandpaper is not for the silicone. The sandpaper is for the expanding foam installation for later. Actually, it's not an installation. It's for like ponds and such. But it's for a later step. The silicone adheres to this stuff just fine. You know, so the bottom is going to be there to like keep back water. So that's the part that matters a bit more. So like up here isn't so crazy. Up here is going to be coated in freaking expanding foam. Now we just sit. So I think at 146 is when I started this, so the 149 is basically when I finished the corner bead. You know what I should have done? You know, hindsight's 2020 and all that jazz? I should have put a bead of silicone on the edges before I put them in. So instead of like, you know, putting it in and then beading alongside and running a finger along the side of it, just fucking bead on the side of the piece and then just like, boop, slap the piece in. Well, too late now. I think. A pack of 100 gloves exists for a reason. The suffering. Okay, but the frogs suffer, not just me. Yeah, I'll make it work if I can't. If it's not the easiest method. Snack break. Here, I'll give you guys a cat cam while I'm doing snack break. Because otherwise this thing's just curing for like 10, maybe 15 minutes before I do the bottom. Get your own snack. You are a snack. Pull from the camera. Whoop. Cat cam. There you go. There. Sleepy kitty. Yep. I'm surprised that she didn't leave, honestly. Like, it genuinely smells awful in here. I just dropped my musketeers on the ground. Sad days. If only I have a bag filled with like 30 more of them. It's been about, wait, what did I say? 49? No, wait, not 49. 46 is when we stopped, so we're about 5 minutes. Oh, sleepy kitty. Oh, I get that explode. Stop the explode before it wakes up the cat. Stop it before it wakes up the cat. Get it. 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 Get it before it screams. Get it. Get it. Get it. Go on, bro. So, while y'all are failing to get an explode, random thought on these things. Should I put the silicone in this, like, now? Like, silicone along this? Did it break? So Luna, try again. If ever I see a Pokeball redeem that is still in the feed, what happens is that it, like, long story short, two things happened at the same time. And it got confused. It ate the points. It just hasn't refunded them, though. I can refund them later when I get back to the computer and everything. Yeah, so let's put some silicone in this. I'm going to apply some tape and just make a bridge on this to help hold it back. And then I'll just put silicone in on the inner edge. That way these are ready for when we need them later. Good enough. Look at that. Ignore the middle one, is totally not taut at all. Getting these two things ready. That and that. Alright. I'm literally just gonna silicone these things off cam. Like, have cat cam for a little bit. Philip wanted that for years. Now you have it. Not missing much over here. I got set up the camera and everything set up just such that you can't see the chat on screen. Amazing. A+ content. You're on twitch.tv/Zazar. Yep. Don't want to bonk into everything, please, eh? Alright, those are probably going to need more time than we think to cure. Just because, one, it's a massive bead, and two, it's kind of structurally important. So, what time was that? 1:58. I honestly wouldn't even want to mess with those for like 20 minutes minimum. Let alone apply them. Alright, how's this upper thing doing? Okay, this upper thing's feeling pretty good. So let's bring the camera back around and we can try and finish off the... I don't know, whatever you want to call this thing. Chimney, water tunnel, access port. Sorry, ruining your cat cam times. We're gonna get over the frog cam. Well, will be frog cam. See, this is a lot easier to do as like a stream feature. You know, frog cam. Because the frogs are always in one spot. It's not like, oh man, sorry, the frogs aren't on their bed today. They're upstairs sleeping in the sun. It's like, no, that's not really a thing. Okay. I'm gonna move those two things though, so that way they aren't reflecting light onto the thing and making it awful. Carefully and gingerly pick them up and move them aside. Thankfully, none of the silicone is sloughing off in them. Okay. So, I want to do the inside of this, at least on the bottoms. And I want to obviously do the edge at the bottom there too. Yeah. The edge at the bottom is not going to be terribly fun, honestly. So let's get that done first. The rest is holding itself together well enough that the bottom edge should be fine to do. The procedure is ready to begin. Doctor. How much is even left in this thing? Like, it can't be much. This thing is such a cheap caulking gun that it has bit into the edge of this thing, and that was preventing it from opening. Oh no, yeah, we still got like a quarter of the tube left. Okay, so we can make this work. I don't think I want to smooth this with my finger at all. Oh, well, I guess that's like the best way to make sure it's like under there. I'm just paranoid about destroying the mesh screen. But I feel like I'm gonna have to. Cock and ball torture. Someone ban that, man. Right, there's absolutely a gap at the bottom of this one. How am I going to do the inside? I honestly think can I even fit this thing in there? Cap on. I can fit it only like one way, and I can't get it all the way down there. Wait. Nope. That will do far more harm than good. Alright. As I do. Not really. Because I don't know. Like, I get it. I absolutely get it. It's not really something that I do. Like, it looks like a seal on the glass side. Like, genuinely, it looks like it's good. Go Strange's card to scream. Oh no. I could just apply a bunch of caulking to my hand and then just like apply it on the inside. Because I can reach my hand in here just fine. Honestly, that's kind of a method I'm liking. Just to kind of make sure it's not awful. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a method. This is not gonna fucking work. It's fucking working. That is so messy. Can't wait to do a water test in a couple of days and find out that it's like not sealed at all. Wait, what am I saying? There's mesh on the bottom. That's, you can't water test that. Alright, let's do this other side, I guess. Yeah. Remove these gloves, apply new gloves. Or at least this new glove. Because this one is pretty much fine. Thumb. Here's the thumb. That's fine. Okay, side number 2. Ah, bump the mic, sorry. I shouldn't put my head into that. Oh, that was... Oh, that's a lot of smell. God, that was awful. Oh, do you know what I just realized? I'm drilling a hole back there. In the glass. To put a bulkhead on so I can drain water out of it without having to, like, you know, remove a bunch of substrate or something if I need to. If the pump fails or whatever. That's gonna be fun! That's gonna be really fun! You know, actually, no, that's not going to cause a problem at all. Like, maybe for the installation of the bulkhead afterwards, but to drill the hole through the glass, I drill that from the outside. That's where I put all the water at. That's where I put, like, everything at is on the outside. So actually, that shouldn't cause any problems for me there. Probably should have removed this before I really got started on this thing. I need to run some citric acid through this. I think it's got a little bit of calcium buildup on it. YCXYDR. Hey, R&D. Oh, look, Caesar. Can I get someone to Google search a misting system for me, please? YCXYDR. That's all it says on the Mr. Head. I wonder, is that like a company or that makes these things, and are they reputable? Because I'm kind of curious what I have attached to this thing. Because I bought it with that installed. Let me see if the other tech has anything on it. A whole bunch of valves. Yep, that's a filter system. No text on it though. Oh yeah. It's on Amazon, it seems. Okay. Our company specializes in production and sales of reptile misting systems, which registered the brand YCXYDR in the United States. Okay, there you go. Got that. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Howdy, Kit. Yeah, so when I bought this terrarium, awesome. Thank you so much, Luna. Yeah, just to confirm, right? Confirm, check a couple things, and I want to see if they have a cap that goes into a water basin because it's a misting system, right? You have to give it enough water to add into the misting system. And I'm not attaching it to this system because then it's going to recycle bad water through it, and it's not going to end well. So you put the misting system attached to its own thing, and this is what introduces new water in. I bought it with that installed and a bunch of other things, and the water reservoir that he had, he camouflaged it. He actually camouflaged the water, like the water reservoir. Like a big bottle that you put the hose into that it sucks the water out of for the misting system. Yeah. He camouflaged it. His words. And it doesn't even fit on my shelf. Like this thing over here is where all the frog stuff's gonna be. You can kind of see it off to the side. And a water system doesn't work so well when you have it on its side and pouring out. So I need to get a different jug for it. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to look at their website to see if they have anything in particular that they use and see if it fits the dimensions of my space here. Because I want, like, you know, a decent sized water basin, like, you know, maybe 2 gallons, 2.5 gallons, 3 gallons would be nice. I know there's only so much space I have there, so I can't ask for like a 20-gallon tank in there or something, but like, you know, 2.5 gallons, 2 gallons would be plenty for me. And just, that'll fit in one of those spaces. And I want the top to be like a screw top with a hole in it sized for the tubing. I can make that happen if they don't have one that's like, you know, not stupidly expensive. I can honestly just put a water bottle down there, drill a hole in the top with a drill bit, and then put a gasket on it. Like, that's not a big deal. Because I can run the wire through it before I attach it to the misting system. Like, it's not like I have to do anything crazy. That's not a thing to add to the expenses, though. I had a budget for this whole project. I've slightly exceeded that budget. I did not, however, get the isopods I really wanted, and I'm a little bit sad. So this is going to be a 9 liter on Amazon. That might be too big of a space, or too big of a container for me. But that is very tempting. 9 liter would basically suit what I need. And I can put it next to the shelf. That's not a big deal. I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Good to know if there's options. But yeah, so I had I have a budget for this thing. The budget was based purely on... I'm stalling because I need this to cure a bit more before I flip it down onto it. Flip it over so we can apply the backsides. But no. There's a website called Josh's Frogs. They're generally regarded as one of the really good spots to go to for a bunch of frog resources, including complete kits. Like, it's one purchase and includes the tank, substrate, tank, substrate, false bottom, separator, starting plants, leaf litter, isopod, springtails, and a mister. So you can like spray it yourself and water the frogs. It's like a full kit for a frog. And like the only thing they don't include in it is the food for the frog, which I kind of feels a little bit irresponsible if they're kind of doing one-stop shop style thing, and then the frog. So it's like like they had a whole kit thing. And my thought was I would need like a shelf, I would need like, the stand for it. I would need like a light fixture, the lights, they didn't include lights. I would need like a few other things, bits and bobs, for my setup especially. And I wanted to have an automatic misting system, like this bitch in here. And I really wanted an automatic misting system, but it wasn't included in their stuffs. So I decided I was going to go out of my way and see if I can beat their price by sourcing my own stuffs. So I took their price, added in the price of like a stand, a light stand, like the frogs, of course, like all the things and extra that I needed that I would have to buy with their complete kit. And I said, that's the price I'm going to beat. And then I went on Craigslist. I found terrariums, aquariums, with stands, without stands, everything. And I redid all my pricing to make sure I had enough substrate and material. Because I got a really big container, I would be spending more on substrate and the false bottom and a mesh and silicone for the back, all that jazz, right? So I went so far out of my way to try and keep my prices under this stuff. And like, I'm happy to say that I failed, but I have a much bigger container here than what their prices, than what they would have provided. This is a 29-gallon versus a 20-gallon tall. So I have far more floor space for the frogs. So that's one thing. Second thing, I was able to get one with an automatic misting system. Keep in mind, buying these things brand new, like a good quality one, which this one might not be, but it's a misting automatic misting system. But either way, buying a brand new, really good quality one is $170. So I was able to get that installed on this bitch with it. This thing also came with like, a bunch of substrate stuff, so I was able to keep some of it. Not much. Like all the plants I got with this thing as well. So it's like I got a lot of things with this purchase. But yeah, I got everything that their package had, plus an automatic misting system, a water feature included, and more space for the frogs for, as it is right now, about $70 more than getting their complete kit and the rest of the stuff I would have had to get anyways. Note, the complete kit with all the other stuffs, I did not include the price of the misting system. Because that was my, if I can't find anything else, I will forego a misting system and add it in later. And I would just get a complete kit and mist them down. And I'll just make sure it keeps its humidity correctly. So I got out really good here. That being said, I'm sad that I didn't go under budget. Because if I went under budget, I would have bought rubber ducky isopods. They are isopods. They're like, pill bugs, roly-polies, depending on where you are in the world, you call them different things, but isopods. You put them in the terrarium, and 1, frog food. 2, they take care of detritus and frog poop in the terrarium. But there's a type of isopod called rubber ducky isopods. Their head is bright yellow, and it looks like a rubber ducky when you zoom in on it. And they're fucking adorable. Like, I'm not a huge fan of isopods, like, just like the look of them, honestly. Like, I'm not, like, you know, inferior of them. I don't think they're gross or anything. But rubber ducky isopods are fucking adorable! Thank you! Thank you, Saluna! They're goddamn adorable! Do you know how much rubber ducky isopods are? To get a pack of 10 of them! Just 10 isopods! Enough to start a culture and let them reproduce on their own and grow and everything, right? To start. $120 was the cheapest I saw. For 10 isopods. I could not justify that, but good God, I wanted to. Anyways, I know what I'm doing next. I'm making a fucking enclosure just for rubber ducky isopods. Oh my God. Yeah, the whole story of like, you know, oh yeah, what's the price of everything? What's all this stuff? It was to lead up to, I really want to get rubber ducky isopods. They're $12 a pod, yes. Not without good reason, though. Yep, they're stupidly hard to breed. They're a fairly recent discovery. Literally, they were found in, like, a closed cave in, like, Indonesia. In limestone caves in Indonesia. They were fairly recently discovered, obviously. It's been, like, 6, 7, 8 years or so at this point since they were initially discovered. But for them to percolate around, people be able to breed them, figure out how to breed them, people to want them, have them on the markets, right? Fairly recent stuffs. So there's not a whole lot of supply of them, and they are hands down the I am not exaggerating when I say the cutest fucking isopods. Like, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the look of isopods at all. Again, not against them at all. I'm more than happy to have them in this thing, and I'll hold them, right? It's not like I'm grossed out by them. But those ones are like, I want to pet them. I want to pet an isopod. They are fucking adorable. It's a future thing. Found out because of the Snake Information channel on YouTube. Well, I found out because of a terrarium builder on YouTube, so I understand. Also, yeah, you have the 9-liter measurements. I'm actually going to check that with this cube space and see how well that fits. Honestly, the height's going to be the problem, because I'm certain it'll fit otherwise. Put it down. I have 13 inches vertically! Oh, that's right there! Yeah, it's a 13-inch cube. Oh, that's right there! Like, genuinely, I want like an inch off the top to feel really comfortable with that. Just because I need to have the tube coming out of the top of the container. Oh, that's so right there. Like, that might even work, but like, it's like a quarter of an inch to fit the tubing in. It's like, not really comfortable with that. Like I said, I can just put a big water bottle or water jug down there, drill a hole in the top, feed the thing through, put a gasket on, and then of course have a screw off top somewhere else so I can refill it. But all right, do you think this is enough time to kind of cure? Oh, that's like so loose on the top. All right. That's so loose on the top. Like, I know, you know what? No. We're going to be putting foam in on the top. That's fine. That's totally fine. That's not going to cause a problem. That's totally okay. That's what we foamed. This guy down. Trying to think where I put this thing down so I can put this thing down without having to put this thing down on my carpet. There we go. It's on the ground now. Because I have to tilt this thing on its back. All right. Now to resituate everything. We're going dark mode. Don't fall over. Zay. Hello. Move this in, and then we move up. And it's mostly there. A little bit closer to y'all. Why is this suddenly... Like, I don't know why I just can never get that same position we had before, because I really liked that what we had last time. That'll have to do. So what time is it? 2:24. So it's been about 25-ish minutes since I put the silicone on these two shelves. Take a sip of water. Water break, y'all. Hydrate. Alright. So these two are the shelves. So we're going to be putting them in kind of like there. Being careful in case it's not yet cured. But yeah, it's like so like there and like there. Obviously, by my hands appropriately. So we have a nice little steppy step. So let us remove the tape and see how this held up. Oh, I really feel like that's not had enough time to cure. Well, the outside is solid. I can touch it and it's not coming off. So it at least has the skin. Let's just take off one side and see. Yeah, no, that feels kind of sturdy, actually. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty confident about this. Oh, shoot! It's a scolipede. No, dugong. Decidedly not a scolipede. Alright, I'm gonna shift the tape so that it's just on this surface instead of wrapping around, just in case. Give that plenty of time to cure, because I don't want to... Or let that cure while we're applying it to the background, because I don't want to have that thing bending out on me too much. Play this safe. Play this safe. Oh, thank you, Selena. I think it's a scolipede. Wow. I really like scolipede. I can't catch it because I'm not at my computer specifically for it, but... Alright. That one is good. Now let's try and upgrade you to just the backs. Alright, can't even catch it to trade. Alright. I keep forgetting trading is a thing. We've never done any trades with the Pokemon minigame system because we just didn't know how it worked. Or we didn't know it was a thing because the video that like tutorialized it didn't include the trade feature because that was added after we made the video. I guess he didn't put it in the description or nothing. I just found the feature. For all we know, the feature is literally broken and it doesn't work. Like, that's why it's not mentioned, because it was designed but wasn't finalized or something. There's no notes about it in the feature, so... Alright. So, we want it, like, there-ish. A little bit lower, so that way we have enough space for the tube. There-ish. And overlap there-ish. Could even attach them right there, just to make life a little bit easier. Yeah, it's a little steep on that top one. Maybe like that. Yeah, that's kind of working. Like, I really like the stair step vibe. I say stair step, really we don't have stairs, we just have one step. I guess we're gonna do one more down here. Down here, because I broke the bot that one day. Yeah. Hey, the bot, the program breaks. That just happens a lot. Do. Yeah, we might attach the silicone to the tape, but that I'm willing to remove. Because the silicone on the corner there is only there to help hold the corner, like hold that the shelf shape. So it's totally fine if we end up destroying some of the silicone on the corner, because we're going to be putting a lot of expanding foam on all of this surface so that I can apply texture. Like, this is just the functional parts. We are not even at the technically good looking parts yet. Hell, I can do another stream like this in like a week when I get all this other supplies in. Actually, I'm gonna grab a thing real quick. I have had boxes arriving constantly to help make everything. Like, we're going to be applying some expanding foam onto the back of this so we can make it look good. But I can't do it yet because I need the cork bark first. Alright. That's that. Let's get this other one in. I kind of want to just mix up how fast it is. Let's not mess with it too much. If I want to have, like, you know, a speed part or a slow part or something, I can just add rocks in a way that facilitates it. Not quite long enough piece. Not quite long enough of a piece. that off. So I don't have to deal with that. Removing this later. Is that level? It is not. This one is not level. Now it is. As level as the top one is. Technically, it does slope down. I guess you can probably tell up there, but it does slope down a little bit sharper right here. But I'm okay with that because we still have to put the cork bark here to make the waterfall feature. And it gives us planting space up here. This is going to be very interesting to make at the end, like to finalize the look of it and everything, because I have, like, we're basically eating up this much space out of the back to turn into a water feature. But I'm going to be carving it down so we have all the floor space basically still open. This is going to be a very busy terrarium. Hopefully the frogs enjoy it. Like, it's only for 2 frogs. They're gonna have a lot of space for them. Well, I'm eating up a lot of their space, but oh, I ripped that straight in half. Damn. Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of stuff going on, and I will try to maximize the amount of space they have. Yeah, when this stuff is siliconed in, I can move this thing to the side and show you the plants that I have currently. Because I have 6 plants. It's crazy to think that those 6 plants fit in this thing, honestly. Because I'm seeing it now, and I'm just like, this terrarium feels so small now that I'm putting stuff in it. But I guess it's for a small frog, so can't be too terribly surprised. Yeah, and the dart frogs I'm looking at get to a maximum of 2 inches long. Okay, so that seems secure enough. I think I'm going to apply the silicone to it, but this time I'm going to be lifting it just a little bit off the surface and putting it underneath. Maybe fucking... God, this is such an annoyance. I almost want to get one of the roommates in here to hold the door open so I can, like, get in from the top. But I don't think I really can. I think they're all asleep right now, or doing things, or like are out of the house. I listed off like 4 options for 3 people. Okay. Besides, we've gotten this far. Fuck it. Fuck it. Alright, how much silicone we got left in this tube? I have 2 more tubes of this exact silicone, so I'm not really worried if we run out. I am going to need a lot of silicone later, though. Once we have the spray foam on the back and on all the stuffs, we have to carve all of it away to get texture. Then I have to cover all of that spray foam with more silicone, because then I adhere a lot of the substrate to the backing. Because then it keeps kind of the same moisture throughout. It allows plants to grow up the back. That's important for me. It allows plants to grow up the back, and it looks natural. It looks like it's part of the bottom too. So it's important. It's gonna be such a long process. Because this has to cure for 24 hours before I can even think about adding in the spray foam. Spray foam only gets applied when I have the cork here, and I can plan out where the cork rounds are going to be going. Then I have to let the spray foam cure for 24 hours after, and yeah, I let it cure for 24 hours, I carve it, apply the stuff on top of it. Now that's going to take about 24 hours to cure. Then, only then, once the background is cured, so that's this 24-hour step, spray foam, 24 hours wait, new silicone 24-hour wait. So it's at least 3 days. Then I can add the substrate and everything to the bottom. And then I can introduce the isopods and the springtails and the plants. And let this start to grow in a bit. Once we're at that stage, once we have the substrate in, the plants are in, we start to let it grow in, I could get the frogs at any point. I'm going to wait a while to make sure everything is fine and hunky-dory, and I'll make sure that the humidity stays within good ranges, temperature stays within good ranges. I'm going to make sure it's a safe environment for the frogs. Then I'll get the frogs. So it might be like a month still after that. This is just to give this thing some stability while we kind of let things cure. This will not be used to hold these things up by the end. This is here for other reasons. Maybe I should have done that the bottom one first. Hindsight, as they say, is 2020. I'm not holding that door open, and the silicone and the thing. I literally need a spare hand. So, we'll do what we can. This is just for support. This is not a structural integrity. I might not even remove this tape until we have the spray foam ready to be put down. Like, that tape got totally fucked up. There's zero chance we can really test this today. This has to cure for 24 hours. Yep, okay, we have that on that side. That's over there. Alright, I am going to open this up, and I am going to try and apply a bead underneath. Just one-handed. No, wait, no, that already has stuff behind. Fuck yeah, I did my job right. Alright, perfect. We still have some of the silicone left over. Let's go! For context, when I did the metal-framed aquarium, I went through 3 of these. On a 10-gallon aquarium. This is a 29-gallon, far more stuff. Your sock tip's a little lopsided. Fun. It's rabbit themed. It's always going to be lopsided. All right. That just has to like cure or whatever. Let's flip this over to the vertical cam, I guess, and I can pull in the plants. There's nothing else I can do with this unless someone can think of anything. Because I can't really apply spray foam without the cork. Like, theoretically, I could apply spray foam now, right? Like, I could, while that stuff's still curing, this new thing, it can go right on top. Pull in the pants. Pull in the plants! Yeah, let's scrap the plants. Go in light mode. So, wait, turn down this lamp. Wow, that looks awful. Ah, your eyes. I know, you're not used to there being light or whatever. Alright, plants. So I have 2 more plants coming in the mail. Those plants are more important to me. Those are the ones that are more likely to be put into this vivarium when it's all set up. That still feels stupidly bright, by the way. Hold on, where's... Yeah, the brightness coming from over there, so let me just turn this guy down. That's so much better. Yeah, hot tip if you don't know where your brightness is coming from. Hand test. Mr. White, if you're being too bright. I know, right? I have to do the namesake. So yeah. All the plants I'm about to show you were in this terrarium originally, when I bought it. I bought this terrarium fully stocked, loaded. It even had ice pods in it. I didn't realize that until far too late, but I didn't know what kind of ice pods they were, and frankly, I couldn't trust anything in it that was too organic. This is actually I put them in this container so that I can quarantine these plants for a little while, just to be on the safe side. I tried to get a bigger container because I thought that there were less plants, actually. I found more in the freaking vivarium when I took the things out. So yeah, look, Cramorant. So everything in here has a strong chance to not end up in the final one. Just want to say that immediately. The 2 that are coming in the mail, those 2 are getting added first. Like, those 2 are the ones I'm basing the rest of this around. I like those plants more. I know what they are. I know what the names of them are. If anyone here has any experience with identifying terrarium plants, speak up. The dude knew what he was doing. So these are likely, like well-known or at least somewhat established plants in this type of hobby. But I kind of want to know exactly what they are so I can write them all down. He actually offered to send me the info, but I totally forgot to follow up with him on that offer. So yeah, let's show off some plants. It actually smells awesome in this thing. Alright, all the plants are dirty as fuck because it was like yesterday I put them in here. So they still have a lot of the dirt of the new substrate on them. This guy is unfortunately probably going to die. This one, again, it's covered in dirt. It's kind of a really hard one to fully clean off. But this one is unfortunately probably going to be dying. Actually, you know, where's my focus? Focus. Where's focus? It's at the autofocus. Autofocus off. Plant focus. There, plant focus. See, this plant is probably going to die. The reason why is because it had no roots. There's no roots on this. Like, some plants are like that. It had nothing. I started to dig around it to get the roots out so I can remove it safely. And it fell out of the dirt into my hand. It's still alive, but I don't think it's going to be surviving. But it's upsetting me because it's a really pretty plant. I love the white banding on the sides of it. Like, that adds such a nice little pop. And I think it even has a little bit of red to it. That's not rot. That's not like dying. It actually is a little bit red. But I cleaned them. I did clean them. Do you know how hard it is to clean? Like I cleaned the one before I put all the substrate on it. But tiny snake plant. Selena, if you have any guesses, genuinely DM me on Discord, and I will look into stuff. So like I haven't done research on these things yet. Snake plant. Yeah, that kind of adds up. Yeah, hold on, let me do a thing though. This is the dirtiest one. I just don't want to introduce too much water, you know? It may be an air plant. It may be an air plant. But yeah, that guy is a time. One that I absolutely want to add into the new terrarium, though. Look at this. Look at this. One of the leaves kind of broke off in the move into this container. But, like, it's a vining plant. Welcome back! Going over plants! But yeah, it has, like, some strength to it to hold up. So yeah, that's such a pleasant little plant, and I want this to be growing along the back. It is a vining plant, I know that for a fact. It was either going to do this or creeping oak fig. I think it's a fig. I think it's a fig plant, something like that. Either way. But yeah, like it's just a pleasant little thing. Like, whoop, look at that. Like, some of the leaves have these colors to it, and I think that's just part of the leaf. I don't think that's like it getting sick or something. But like some of them have like very little signs of it at all. So yeah, I like this plant. I like this plant a lot. I think it adds a lot of nice, neat little texture. This guy. I don't think this one's gonna be making it. It looks like it's not doing super well with the transit, or it was already doing pretty bad initially in the previous enclosure. It wasn't super well watered for like 2 weeks between me, like him not watering it for like a week, and then me picking it up and not having a way to safely water all the plants, because I can't just pour water in, because then the bottom would get filled with water and it would just become stagnant and turn horrible. So for the health of the plants, I couldn't water them for like a week. But like, I love the striping on this, but you see, this isn't dirt. This is like wilting. It's like wilting going straight back in. So I have to be very I have to handle this thing very gingerly. I have to be very careful with this plant. But I love the just white streak color pop on it, and I hope this thing recovers fully, but to be seen, right? This guy's just big. It's the biggest plant out of all of this. And it looks fake. Like, it's super broad, waxy leaves. But it adds so much, like, genuine depth to the space because of its massive size. But all of this wilting on this as well has not gotten any worse. This is as bad as it was when I pulled it out of the terrarium. The other one has actually degraded a bit more. So this one is just big, bright green. I'm not against it, but like, depending on the space, right? Type malls add to their indoor plants. It really does. It might be a similar vein of it, but like a smaller style. The size of this and the simplicity of it makes me kind of hesitant to add it, just because of the amount of space we may have. Especially since I just remember there's a third plant we're adding in. Totally forgot there's a third plant. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But its species name is Fireball. Anyways, the last 2 plants in here are the exact same plant. And I kind of dig them. It's just a very different texture of leaf. Look at that. It's just, it grows tall, which is the only reason it might not make it in this new enclosure, is that it grows tall. But like, I could totally see this in front of the water tower, basically. But like, look at this. It's just this super round, broad-leafed, cute plant. Yeah. Mira Regalia Fireball. It grows up and out. Like, it's a very vertical plant, and almost looks like it's a pitcher plant if a pitcher plant was blossomed out. Like, if you like tightened up its leaves a lot, you can imagine a lot of water being stored inside of it. That's what I'm looking at. I can actually look on my phone and look at the order and see. But yeah, look at that. Like, this guy, there's 2 of these. Also, inside of it, it's actually really tightly packed in here. It's only going to be in here for a couple of weeks. It should be okay. But it has like a potato. Like, it has a giant ball that, like, you know, all the nutrients are stored in and everything. So if the plant dies in this, I can take that out and plant that and sprout a new one. So, like, this plant is probably going to be added into the next one. It just might take a lot longer for it to grow in, depending on how it handles this environment. Add a bit of water. I just moved them into this bigger container, so they're probably really dry. The container hasn't had a chance to get up a lot of humidity. These guys are used to a lot of humidity, so I'm giving the best conditions I can. Root bulb. Yep. There we go. Biggest. Yeah, I don't know what those two are. I have an app that's actually really accurate at identifying plants, but I don't think that it's intended to be used like this. I think it's intended for like the plants in your yard. So yeah, putting this guy aside. I'm gonna be giving it sunlight later. Where's my phone? Right there. Let me take a quick look at that order. It also should be arriving today. The new plants I ordered should be arriving today. Let's just take a quick look-see. God, I have so many emails. There it is. I'm just pulling up the autofocus again because might as well. Show off my great physique. Got too much candy. Alright. Okay. The 3 plants that I ordered is oh my god. Davallia humata tyermani white rabbit's foot fern. So white rabbit's foot fern is one. The other one is Pilea depressa, or tiny tears. And the third one is Neoregalia fireball. So yeah, Saluna, that was exactly it. Neoregalia fireball. That one, I actually am very particular to order, because that is apparently where the frogs I'm looking at, or at least a lot of dart frogs, they lay their eggs in those. So it's like, give them something that they have in nature, right? Give them a very direct thing they have in nature. Makes sense to me. Plus, when it grows in, it will be this super bright red if it's grown in the right conditions. And this thing's going to be a really green and gray terrarium, pretty much. So it's like, all right, bright red plant. Fuck it. It'd be great. Let's look up fireball plant. I mean, I'm not terribly surprised. Not terribly surprised it worked. There's not a whole lot of things called fireball. So, yep. Bunch of stuffs. What is... I'm going to check the tracking on this, because it said it should be arriving today. Right, be right back. It's here. Literally, it just arrived. I ran upstairs. Oh, I'm winded by running up a set of stairs. Let's take a look at it. Okay. We have live plants and insects in here, so we have to be kind of careful. Baby tears! Sorry, tiny tears. Boop. Here, you know what? Let's adjust the focus again. Yeah, these are very small plants right now. There we go. Look at that. It will be kind of falling over a lot. That's part of how the plant grows. But yeah, this should actually grow to about 3 times this size in total. And it will drape a lot. Maybe 3 or 4 times the size. But yeah, it's a very young one. I have moss. Because I'm going to have a water feature. Moss, important. Live unboxing! Hey, rabbit fern! This is actually a very young plant. White rabbit's foot. Funny shot, more so like that. This thing will grow to like this wide and like this tall. It grows out really nicely. I hope to have this thing kind of at the back of the terrarium kind of pointing forwards, so that it has a chance to kind of bloom out over everything. Dwarf tropical white isopods. And this should be the springtails. Yep. These are bugs. It's bugs. Springtails eats the, oh gosh, springtails will eat mold and, like, really small things that need to be eaten. And isopods will eat, like decaying plant matter and, like, frog poop and such. So, there we go. We got bugs. I'm a little bit annoyed that I got these when I did. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of wish that these arrived like a few days later, so I had a chance to make a little culture for them ahead of time. But I do have spare Tupperware containers that I can use to kind of let them breathe a little bit more, because these are sealed boxes and everything. I can't add them into the terrarium, it's not done yet. So I need somewhere I can keep them and keep them healthy for the meantime. So I have a spot, I can make a space for that, either in stream or after stream. It's like a wild guy say this is the fireball. 1. I should open this one up first, I guess. Very careful with the knife. All this stuff is sent to me from Josh's Frogs. I'm not sponsored, but it's just easy to get it all from one spot for shipping. And a place that you can reliably know that you're going to be getting good products from. There we go. Frog. Ooh, that actually has a nice color already. So this one is, again, very small. But once it grows in, it will, like, bloom out a little bit more. It'll probably bloom out about, like, that much farther out. Like, the leaves will fold out that much farther out. It doesn't go that far out. It likes to grow up and out. But that should actually end up with a much richer red color by the time it's fully grown in. And that's its root. You literally jam this into the side of the side of the terrarium. It looks like a planty fruit roll-up. That's not terribly inaccurate. It does actually look really tasty. That looks delicious. Cups. What are the cups for, you may ask? For all of the fruit flies. I have no fruit flies in here. I don't need them yet. Again, material for the fruit flies. Because I have to grow fruit flies. Fucking dart frogs eat like 3 to 4 times a week. If they're really young, they eat like 5 times a week. And they eat, like they are macrovores. I think it's macrovores. They only eat really small things. They eat a lot of small things. It's like they can't eat like a steak. They have to eat rice, you know? They have to eat a lot of tiny things. So I literally need to make fruit flies constantly for them. So that's what all the cups are for. This is stuff for the fruit flies to lay their eggs on. Never run out of fruit flies. Kit, that would not be enough fruit flies. I am not joking with you. They pasted beer and potato flakes in your fly culture lasts forever. I'll look into that for later. If that's any cheaper than ordering the fruit fly culture. Another big thing is that the fruit fly culture, which I have right here actually. This is the culture for the fruit flies to eat. The big thing with this is it doesn't smell. Which is kind of important when I'm gonna have like 3 or 4 cups filled with, you know, stuff that fruit flies want to eat and will live on. Kind of important that it doesn't smell. So everything I'm looking into for it has to be either cheaper than a store-bought option, significantly easier than a store-bought option, and or has like no smell to it. And some frog food. To link in the info. Thank you. All right, what the hell else is in here? A thank you. Wait a second. Wait a fucking second. That's really confusing. So, it's like a thank you thing, right? But, I can't tell what's handwritten. Thank you for the sub. Oh shit! Hey, Felis. We're showing. Do you want to see the plants that we just got? I don't think that's handwritten. I literally just got an order in. Okay. Whoop. Showing these off again because I like them a lot. Rabbit's foot fern. White rabbit's foot fern. These will be going into the back of the terrarium. It'll be getting a lot bigger. All these plants are very young. These are very young plants. I think it's Rotella depressi because it's always leaning over. It's tiny tears. It's called tiny tears. Look at that. Again, this one will grow out a lot more. Yeah, the fern is like sprouting out the base. It's actually kind of interesting. I didn't know it did that. And the last plants that I got in the mail just now. Whoop. Fireball! New regalia, fireball. Literally, you jab this into the side of the enclosure, and it grows. And frogs lay their eggs in it. Frogs like this. It looks tasty. Genuinely, people are calling this a plant-based fruit roll-up, and I can't unsee it, and it looks delicious. Like, look at that. And these are all very young plants. Packing list. Yapea depressa, tiny tears. New regalia, fireball. And Davia humata tyremani, white rabbit's foot fern. Springtail care stuff. Isopod care. I pretty much know what I'm doing. I got bugs. Stuff about the store. Stuff about the store. Stuff about the store. and a $100 wine wine voucher. It's a partnership with Josh's Frogs. Literally, the code includes frog in it. Like, it's just a fucking. It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna use it. $100 off any case of wine, price at $160 or more. Delivery included. Okay, so I don't have to pay extra for delivery. That's neat. I find it unlikely I will be using this for the fruit fries. Frog size one. Frog wine. We can get frog wine. This down onto the ground. I'm actually going to get that little storage container for the new plants, just so they have a chance to kind of acclimate to that, get out of the weather. The wine sister calls hot dog wine. There's a little graphic at the box that says goes all with hot dogs. Oh, does it though? Does it actually go well with hot dogs? All right. R&D. I need your thoughts. How the fuck do I put this in the box? Like it wants to grow like this, but jabbed into things. How do I possibly put this into the kind of quarantine storage thing? It's only the new substrate that I'm putting in the final thing, so the substrate's not an issue. Jab in a box, just put it in a cup. Cup is not a bad idea. Do I have... I'm trying to think if I have a clear disposable cup. I think I do upstairs. Paper towel ball kept moist. Paper towel at the bottom of a cup with like a hole in the bottom of the cup just for drainage. Sound good? Because I want it to like stay vertical. Here, I'm gonna go grab plastic cup real quick. Ta-da! I brought a cup. I need to poke some holes in the cup. Should be plenty. That actually opened up on the bottom too. Where are those paper towels I just had? I just had them. I had them earlier. I feel like I have a set. Wedgie snack sounds terrible. Ugh. Why would you ever suggest that? I am really confused. I genuinely... Did I put them on the ground? What the fuck? I feel like Dora the Explorer. R&D, do you see the paper towels? No, that's not paper towels. Should I turn on like a heat map thing? So y'all can click on the screen. I found paper towels. They're over here. Found them. Like loosely in that. Again, they're only going to be in here for like a couple of weeks. Once the terrarium is done, then like once I put substrate in the terrarium, plants go into the terrarium. Then it should be smooth sailing from there, right? Like they won't have to be in possibly bad conditions. Refilling this spray bottle, getting kind of low. Alright. I'm going to try not to kill the plants. I'm not opening this up. I see no reason to take this out of its substrate to put it into a pot for 2 weeks and then it goes into a new substrate. Like, there's no... I'm not doing that. That just causes more harm than good. Putting all these in here. We spritz them. Let them get a lot of water. Put a lot inside of this one, actually. By the way, I love this mister. Because it doesn't, like, you press it and it just, like, sprays, like, once. It sprays for, like, a couple of seconds. It's just so pleasing. I don't know why that's so pleasing to me. Okay, then we up the humidity in here. Actually, the substrate at the bottom is going to be really good to hold some humidity in this. Because I want them to get in, like, to have basically the conditions they're going to be in the terrarium. Mega Spritzer. It's actually a hairstylist spritzer. Okay. Quarantine box, just in case, right? No sense in accidentally having something from the other plants get into these ones. They're from a reputable place. I'm certain they're fine. But other ones, lesser so. Springtails and the isopods. I need to put these into bigger containers. I think I brought a couple. Did it! So, what we're gonna do... So these are the isopods. No, these are springtails. These are springtails. Yeah, I can't see any in here. They're very small, so I wouldn't be surprised if I can't spot any at all. I think what I'm going to do... I need to grab some rice for the springtails, because they eat the mold that grows on rice. I'm going to grab some rice for the springtails, and the bag of substrate that I already have opened, and I'm going to mix that into one container for the springtails. The isopods, they eat leaf matter, decaying leaf matter. And I actually have a bunch of leaves over here, so I'm going to, again, have the container of the substrate they're going to be in at the end. Crush up a bunch of leaf, throw that into the container, bunch of substrate, leaves on top, isopods. Sound good? Sound good. I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm unprepared. I didn't think I'd be opening this up on stream today. It smells like vinegar in my office. I wonder why. Alright, we're gonna flip over to the... We're gonna zoom in a little bit here. Alright. Where is our focus? Oh, that's actually like perfect focus. My filthy hands. Oh, there we go. It's a good focus on that. I don't know what I'm doing. My brother's asking, what's in my hands? It's rice. You want some rice? Sorry, it's the fucking salts of God. I have in my hand some of the ground that the angels walk on in heaven. Why is that so fucking bright? Image adjustment, exposure. There we go, fixed it. Yeah. I don't know why that was so freaking bright. Alright, let's do springtails first so I can get rid of this handful of rice. Okay. So, this is the substrate that they're going to be in at the end. If I don't lose it all, I might have to actually get some more of this substrate. Because it's not quite enough, I don't think, for this terrarium. You want to hold the rice? Yeah. You want me to devil some eggs too? Alright, temperate springtails. So, this is the springtails. Bugs! Carrots! Alright. So, let's see if we can't spot any springtails. Desecrated coconut. Ah, the humor. Alright, so I don't see any. They're going to be very small. And they're pure white. I don't see any right now. I don't know. You see any? Give it a couple weeks, there'll probably be a fuck ton. This is probably just like a bit of a starting culture. No idea. I love the part of the stream where he stared at dirt. So, we add some rice. And the springtails eat the rice that molds. Like, genuinely, that's it. That's all that they need. In fact, normally the culture that normally the culture they're in is actually a, is just charcoal. Like, they just exist only on charcoal with a bed of water at the bottom. Like, I'm just adding water now. Giving them some moisture. Alright. Lid on. And top is open for air. That should be all they need. Like, genuinely, that might just be the whole bit for them. Oh, I need to write on that. Where's my pen? Springtails. Moisture. Have some damp rice. The springtails, they cheer. Alright. And then dwarf white isopods. Similar story. I just add a bunch of the bedding into here. substrate that they're going to exist in for later. Like, this is, again, probably more effort than I need to for them. They are very content with very, like... They live underneath rocks, you know? Or underneath wood. And just detritus. So they don't really need much. Alright. We have the thing of the stuffs. We also have the cutest fucking frog ever. And it's just a whole thing of magnolia leaves. I can actually get leaves from outside, and it's totally fine. I do have to sanitize them, just make sure there's no, like, mold that can harm the isopods. But, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like boiling a bunch of leaves. So yeah, we're just gonna break up a couple of these, just to kind of give a little bit of surface area. So we have one half kind of covered. Beef soup. Kind of. Yeah, kind of. Kind of, yeah. Yeah, kind of. Kind of. Yeah. Where's my knife? Kniff. Rasha found the plastic ring from the springtails. Hey, what are you doing? What are you eating? That's plastic. Cat. Alright. Now, I'm certain we'll be able to see some of these. Yep, there's one right on top! Right on top! Dwarf white isopods. You see it crawling around there. That's actually kind of a smaller one, too. Oh, there's a bigger one crawling out from back there. Poked its head out for a second. Isopods! Bug! Yep. I got this size in particular because this is the size that the frogs eat. The frogs will help regulate the isopods a little bit. And in case, I'm unable to feed them for a couple of days because, like, I don't know, the fruit fly culture died, you know? Like, fruit fly culture is just gone. Like, it just never bred or anything. They can eat these for a couple of days while the next one is getting set up. So they go into the thing. Oh my god, isopods! Look at them crawling around there. Cute little fellas. All right. We move the leaves back on top. Probably should have put the leaves in first. Probably should have done the isopods first. But let me add a couple more leaves in. They like the leaf cover. They eat them, but also it keeps the humidity in that they really like. I don't want to completely cover it because I want them to have areas of high humidity, areas of relative lower humidity, so that they feel more. They can kind of hit the area that they like more. But yeah, look at that. Isopod. Theo? 2? Fuck! We spray the isopod home world. Okay. We want to get a little bit of water at the bottom. Sorry, we want to get a little bit of water at the bottom. Let it kind of be humid. And the cap. I will have to open these containers once a day, even with the hole. Just to be on the safe side, help, like, one, open it up, give them a little misting, and just reset the air in there, just in case. The air hole there is more so as a preventative, lets them go longer, more comfortably. Actually, I'm going to write this first. Dwarf white isopods. Okay. We now have dwarfite isopods. My handwriting's very large. We have springtails. We have a cat. What? Sorry, do you want to check out all the paper on the ground and the nice box and everything? She's acting like she's being bullied. What was that? That was her meowing. You are like in fear right now. Alright, fine. Go play with your plastic. Your paper. Sorry, you have no plastic there anymore. I removed it from you. I can't think of anything else to do right now. It's like, the moss is desiccated. I'm just going to be attaching this into the terrarium when it's all done. I can't apply the next step of the terrarium build until I have the the cork bark, and this has to cure anyways, so I don't really want to do that anyways. It's kind of welcome to the stream. We can take another look at the terrarium, but I can't pick it up because the shelves are held on by silicone and tape, and I kind of don't want to futz with it when I'm just gonna have to lay it back down anyways. And hell, we're probably gonna do a stream with the terrarium in the future. Let me turn back on autofocus because this is sorry it's out of focus so long. But yeah, it's like, we have there's really not much else we can do with it. I can show off the thing, but like I'd have to point the camera down and change the lights so that way it's not super glaring. I think that's it. Should we order some wine? Someone want to kick me $60 so I can order a thing of wine? No, actually, don't kick me $60. If you're gonna throw any money at anybody right now like that, throw it at Ken. Did they go fund? All right. I am amazed, 1, that this stream worked at all, 2, that we did as much as we did, and 3, that, like, I didn't get any silicone on the carpet. I did all this on the carpet in my office. I didn't pick up the carpet or nothing. I just put the table down in my office, and I put a towel on the table. I was running at a high risk of ruining the carpet in my office, and I didn't. Wait till we get the spray foam. Yeah, no, the spray foam is where I'm gonna get fucked. All right, I need to call the stream here. I would say let's go find someone to raid, but I can't. Like, I have a mouse. That's it. And this mouse only works for the stream PC, so I can't even raid from here. Not easily. Anyways, have a good day, y'all. Oh, let me pull up the ending scene at least. Boop. So, anyways, everyone who sent me information on, like, what the plants might be, like, the water trough stuff, so I don't know if I got a thing for that. I believe someone sent me a DM for that, or just, like, any of the information that they sent to me while I was kind of building and assembling terrarium stuffs. Thank you! Like, that's actually going to be really helpful. It's going to be really cool for me to go over that later on. Tomorrow, I don't know if we're going to be doing the game stream, because Hentebo's been sick. I'm just outing Hentebo as sick. So if Hentebo's not feeling like she's able to do Satisfactory stream, we're not doing a Satisfactory stream. That is contingent entirely on how she's feeling tomorrow. So I'm not making any promises for that right now. I would like to do another stream like this next week. I actually think we can. I will probably try and do the cork bark, or not the, yeah, if the cork bark arrives and I'm able to, like, I have enough time ahead of time, I am going to be doing the spray foaming and cork barking in, like, first. Then when, like, let's say on, like, next week on Friday or whatever, if I have the ability to, if, like, the cork bark has been in and it's been, like, able to cure, I'll take the chance then. We'll probably do another stream where I'm carving out the background and how it will look in its final form. Then we apply silicone and we apply all the material on it. And then when that cures, maybe 24 hours later, I can put the plants in and we can probably, hell, that might even be a stream itself, right? I think next week we might just turn to a terrarium week. I'm really enjoying this. This has been like this big project of mine. And I'm happy I was able to share this. I was happy I was able to stream this. And it actually looked okay, hopefully. Sound quality was kind of everywhere, but, you know, only so much I can do with that. But that's that. I will see you all maybe tomorrow, maybe later, in the future times. Peace. See ya. Bye.